It says we are live. What's up?
Hello.
What's up? I'm just queuing everything
Welcome,
up.
everybody.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Who's Gecko's biggest fan is in here? Wow.
Okay.
Who
Let
is
me
that?
Make sure all our settings are
I
good.
don't know, but I like it.
That's probably, you know who that is? That's probably Andrew Pino.
Yeah, it probably is.
Who's Gecko's biggest fan? That's funny. What's up? What's up? Just letting a few people trickle in.
What's up, everybody? Who we got here?
Hello.
We got
Chad,
Chatty,
Alex, and
Hey,
John.
oh, Flexy's here. Alex is here.
Alexi,
Patrick's here.
Laguna, Patrick.
Rack City's
Alex.
here. Rax by JB.
Gecko Cove's here.
Alexis, Bryce,
Yo.
Ems.
Chad says make him laugh.
We'll try.
That's AJ's job to get him with the
Ems.
I like that photo. I like that dog wearing a hoodie.
That is dog. Oh, so cute.
Who's that? Which Ems is that?
Which M's? Which M's are you, M's?
There's multiple M's.
So many M's.
Hello, fellow AJ.
Oh, there's another AJ.
There's multiple
Kenny's
AJs.
in the house. Mike, Parkour Geckos. Mike is here.
What's up, Kelsey? Mike, parkour. Parkour.
Rouge,
Parkour.
David, Myrell.
Hey, Kenny's on. Good to see you, Kenny. David's on.
Oh, that's hot.
Roog.
You drinking coffee, Brian?
No tea, bro. I'm just like trying to detox. I drink all these teas now.
I just had some tea from Starbucks today. Honey citrus mint. It's good for your throat.
I don't think I've had sugar in
What's
like
up, Faith?
2 weeks.
Hello.
So. No sugar, no carbs. No sugar, no carbs.
What's up, LJ?
Just meat and veggies.
This is the diet pod now.
Diet pod.
I have a goal. I have to be down. I want to try to get down to at least 205 by Flora Fauna.
What are you right now?
229.
Dude, you're 100 pounds more than me.
Yeah. I started at 247, bro.
I'm a baby.
I was almost 250 pounds.
Oh, dang. Okay. So you're doing all right. It's progress, man.
Yeah, but it's beating me down mentally.
No sugar, man. You're a sugar fiend.
Yeah, I love it too bad.
What's up, Dallas?
What's up?
Yeah, I'd rather be happy and
Carnivore.
fat, but the problem is happy and fat means you die faster.
That's true. But you have more fun.
Yeah, but you know, I want to see my kids get married at least, you know. If
I do want to see.
You only have to live like 20 more years and you'll be good.
Yeah, man, that's true.
I don't want my daughter. My daughter's not getting married at 22 years old.
She might. Who knows?
I got married when I was 24.
They're gonna wait till people 23. Get 40 years old. Yeah, it just gets later and later.
That is true. That's the trend. Yeah. Yeah.
Gecko egg diet.
Ooh, gross.
Gecko egg diet.
Hey, who's
Man,
Gecko?
You know how many gecko eggs I would have to eat to make one like mini omelet equivalent to a chicken egg?
Somebody needs to cut open an infertile egg and cook it in a pan and see what it looks like.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. There would be no like the yolk would be just clear goo.
It's just instant scrambled.
Yeah.
Would make a great video. Okay, we're doing it. No one can steal it. One of us three is doing it.
We're gonna do it on the live.
Make an egg.
We all gotta eat it, and we're all gonna end up hospitalized.
What's up, Nicole?
Straight up.
I bet you
Gecko whites.
You'll definitely lose weight.
We have to break for the gecko whites.
You wouldn't be able to supplement enough protein for yourself if you just lived on gecko eggs.
That's true.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, We've
Good to
got a
see you
lot to
guys.
talk about tonight,
There's a
huh?
lot. Yeah,
It's been a while, right?
It's been over a month, right?
I think was that last one the live was the episode 50 when we were in North Carolina.
Yeah. We're at AJ's.
Yeah.
That
was our last live.
November.
Yeah.
We've been slow through the holidays. We're slacking.
Yeah.
No, we're not slacking. We're intentionally resting.
We intentionally took a hiatus.
Yeah.
So we can come
live
back
of
fresh.
2024.
2024.
2024.
Coming out hard. But yeah, this is episode 55, counting the vlogs of the Gecko Pod. We are a podcast for the gecko community where we talk about the hobby of breeding geckos, business of breeding geckos. We have Brian, Who's Geckos. The biggest we have a lot of fans of Who's Geckos, just like this one guy.
It's just one possible troll.
This guy. Okay, watch out for this guy.
I like this guy.
No regrets.
No regret.
And we have AJD Reptiles.
Hey.
And then my name is Harry, Zero's Geckos. We are your live podcast host where we talk about whatever. So in the live, if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in there and I'll try to queue them up and answer them as we go. I'm also going to pull up some of the questions that you guys asked via IG and DMs. Okay. So feel free to just engage and chat and hang out, and we're just going to have a good time for a little bit. It'll be fun.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right off the bat, you guys have any
balut?
We always talk about balutes.
We talk about balut a lot.
AJ just said it, and I was like, yeah, no.
Well, yeah, because AJ is Filipino. We have Filipino AJ over here.
And I've had it myself.
Can we? You did?
Yeah.
I've never had it, man.
I had it in college one time.
Bro, you're more Asian than I am.
I know.
Yep, Nicole, we got yours. I loaded yours up, and we'll ask some questions of yours. AJ, you want to talk about Pomona show for a little bit first?
Yeah.
We just came back from the Pomona show last weekend.
Yeah. So
how'd you like it?
I thought it was really good. So we traveled out for the Pomona show, the Reptile Super Show, and shipped a bunch of geckos. It was you and me and Cressy Spectrum and Morph Menagerie and Fireside and Alex came. A bunch of people came. So we kind of traveled out to the show, vended it. We had 4 tables just loaded with animals. And I thought the turnout was good for the show. The venue I thought was nice. I've been really impressed with the quality of shows that Super Show puts on. Like as far as like the experience, like when you get there, like compared to Tinley, right? You go to Tinley and it's like absolute chaos and like everyone treats you terribly. From a staff perspective, it's just like, I don't know. It's just, it feels like they don't even want you to be there. And then you go to California and everybody's like really nice. And it's like, oh yeah, your table's right here. And it's very clear. And I don't know. It's just a much better experience in my personal opinion. So
yeah, Rami does a good show. I feel like he gives enough space in terms of the aisle space.
Yeah. It's never like,
it's like crazy crowded, but California is a little bit more spaced out. So.
It's because Tinley needs to get a bigger venue. Like they've been running the same venue for how long? 15 years or something. And it's just absolutely maxed out to the brim and they can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think if they fix that, got a bigger venue, maybe they could make it a better experience. But
is there bigger venues in the area?
Oh yeah. I don't know if it's a cost thing. I don't know what it is. I think it's crazy that they don't.
I remember you mentioned something about Schaumburg being a good venue. Yeah.
Schaumburg is a way better venue and it's bigger and they already use it once a year. So, but I've theorized, and this is just my theory. I've theorized that they have a long contract to rent that Tinley Park Convention Center. So before they started doing Schaumburg, maybe they had like a 10-year contract with the Tinley Park location. You know, I don't know, like booking out super far to guarantee dates. That's all I can think. But
Yeah.
I would hope that they switch locations eventually. That's my hope.
I like the
But-
organization of the out from the videos and the pictures of the Pomona show. It's very
Yeah.
similar to it's the same organization as Anaheim though, right? The way their booths are set up,
Yeah.
with the dividers and everything. I like that.
Yeah.
The dividers and everybody's like separated and just not like all over the place, just rows of tables. Like
thought
if
it was-
you
Oh, go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Yeah, if you come to like the ones over here, it's just like open tables and everybody's next to each other and everybody's overlapping. And I just know with the recent show, like I had to go 4 tables down to exit out of my table because
White Plains?
because the tables were pushed against each other.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
had to
yeah,
go,
yeah.
it was just like, and then like I'm like, when you go to the movie theater and like you go on a plane and you have to walk over the person's legs to go to the bathroom. That's what I had to do. Like my ass was in front of people's faces every time I wanted to leave my booth, like my table. And I'm like, sorry, excuse me. I'm like, man, their crotch is on my ass. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a very like pleasant experience out in California. I also thought it was interesting. Majority of the Gecko booths were pretty close to each other, which I don't think is a bad thing.
Yeah,
I really don't. Like from a
That's
buyer's
good because-
perspective, there was a couple buyers. They're like, oh, this is nice that like, say the show is X amount size. They put like all the Gecko people in like 20% of it.
Yeah,
like-
there was
I
we were
kinda
kind
like
of in the
that idea.
central. You're kind of going down the hall,
You were
and
like
then
halfway
we're all-
down.
Yeah, we're like a bunch of us were halfway down. So Jordan, Ruby Reptiles was right by us. LM Little Monsters was right next to us. Yeah, we had a lot of Gecko people close by.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would
that's
say
kinda cool,
everybody
like-
was in like the same 25% of the show, which was cool.
Can you imagine like you go, all right, I want to go ball pythons. Let's go to ball python section. You go to the geckos, you go to the gecko section. You want to go to monitors, you go to the monitor section.
be cool.
Boas, like kind of
Yeah.
like keep it like where, like if everybody was looking for a certain something, you just go to that section.
And if you want to go back and look at something, you don't have to walk across the entire show to get back to a table. Like say you're a Gecko person, all the Gecko booths are in like a certain section of the show. Then you only have to walk, 100, 200 feet to see every Gecko booth.
Yeah.
But it's all really like, I don't think it would impact sales in any way.
No.
Yeah, so that's what John's asking. Were people having
Yeah.
to reprice because we're all next to each other?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, it didn't really affect. We all kind of had fair prices, and yeah, I don't think we had to readjust too much
Yeah.
because nobody
So-
was dumping prices. So
Yeah. So speaking of that, so this was the first show that Korean breeders came from Korea to the US, brought animals and sold animals here.
So there's Tigress and
Tigress
Renkamon.
and Oint, Reptile, and Renkamon.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit, I guess, like not worried, but just like, what is going to happen? Like, what's the pricing going to be like? Because we obviously see like fetal pricing and different stuff. And I'm like, what is going to happen? And I was pleasantly surprised. I thought that it was very, I thought that the pricing was very comparable to US pricing as far as like current market. Like the caps were very nice, but they're very expensive. And yeah, like tricolor is very nice, very expensive. So I was like, oh, this is actually cool. And I complimented June on that. And they said that they had a meeting together about not wanting to differ too much in price from us. They wanted to align with us price wise. And I said, oh, that's a good thing to do. And I really, admire that you guys did that. And because obviously they could come here and they could just sell stuff super cheap if they wanted to.
Yep.
Right. But they didn't.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I respected that.
How many did they bring?
I
we
think like
saw their table, but
60 or 70.
yeah, they had like a table
All together 60, 70, or
yeah, but
they were all
of
vending
it was
together.
high end. Like I don't think they brought a single animal. Did they bring a single animal, Harry, that was priced under $1,000?
Really?
No.
I think every animal was over $1,000.
They had like
Pretty
caps.
good.
They had some sables.
But even the caps were, I don't think there was a cap under 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. But reception, yeah. I think a lot of people went to go look at their stuff. They bought
Yeah.
stuff from them, and I think it was they were very friendly. I mean,
Yeah. No,
obviously,
yeah.
I don't think they would be mean people if they would if they came
No,
here.
no,
Right?
no. But I guess just I didn't know how. I also didn't know how like the reception from all
Alex says
U.S.
60 points.
like all other
Has the
U.S.
exact
breeders at
number?
the show.
Did he sit there and count it?
Alex is a nerd like that, so he knows.
Like,
I just didn't know what like the vibe was going to be, right? And I
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
wanted it to be good, and it was good. So
Mhm.
I was happy that it was like everybody was able to hang out, and we got to get dinner together and talk, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, we can chat a little bit more about that, but I don't want to miss out on this one. For someone who has never vended a show, should they ask to join a table or buy your own? I think that's a good question.
I would say it depends on how many animals you have. I mean,
if you have 10 animals, share a
if
table.
you're gonna bring
10
I would
animals,
say if you're
8-foot
gonna
table.
bring I probably have a different opinion on this than maybe you guys. I would say
Yeah.
if you're gonna bring less than like 50, I would share. Like I don't know, like 50 total
agree.
animals, or like if you bring less than 50 on a table, in my opinion, it looks really empty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And an 8-foot table with like standard 6-inch or standard 4-inch deli cups, I think you can put like about like 90 to 100 on it. So if you think about
Yeah.
like the total table space, so I mean, if you want to bring 30, 40 geckos and cap it with like product like Pangea, baby kits, t-shirts, this, that, the other, you could do
Mhm.
that. But if you're primarily just going to sell animals, I would say 50 minimum.
Yep. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the other half of the table, yeah, you sell your merch and stuff, and as long as the table doesn't look crazy empty. If it looks really
Yeah.
empty, it's really sad looking. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to look like, you don't want to be that person with 5 geckos on 5 tubs, 5
on a
cups on
table.
their table. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I would say share a table if you can. Make some friends at your local
And
show and
yeah.
share a
sharing
table.
tables is nice too, because it allows you to see how other people that are experienced sellers kind of work with customers and kind of do their. I mean, even doing shows, it comes down to like how it's like goofy, but like how wet do you keep the paper towel in the deli cup so it doesn't like fog? And how do you price the animals? How do you adjust
Mhm.
pricing day to day? All that different stuff. It's valuable to learn from somebody who's experienced. And so if you can, I mean, like
Yeah.
I know like Harry, you and Ralph kind of vended together. And that was
Yeah,
kind
so
of
I brought-
both of your first like
had my-
main shows together.
Yeah, so Ralph was with us last time at Anaheim, and then I had a few animals on your table, and Ralph helped us keep an eye on stuff too. And then this time I had my own table, but Ralph, so I brought like 90 animals. Ralph brought about like 20 something animals, and we just dumped all our animals on that one table. It was nice to vend with Ralph because we kind of kept an eye on each other's animals. We helped answer questions. We watched the corners because people snag stuff at Anaheim. And so it's always really helpful to have more people at the table if possible. People you trust, obviously, and you can have a good time.
And it's just a lot of work to keep everything cleaned and sprayed and looking good and keep the animals happy. So
yeah,
it always helps to have extra hands for sure.
And Brian, you just did a show this past weekend too, right? And you had
Mhm.
you had some help. You had a friend helping. Yeah, John, right?
Yeah, I had John from AM Geckos. He helped me out. I just offered. I said, "Listen, man, do you want to come help vend?" Or he's like, "Oh, first he offered to like help set up." I'm like, "Yeah, if you want to come in, I'll get you in for free. I'm allowed an extra person." And he ended up coming from 7, and he liked it so much he stayed till like 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Nice.
He stayed almost the whole thing. He like just the last hour he just broke out. I was like, wow. He's like, man, I had so much fun. So he had a good time. The only problem with like that show is the host, they don't like people sharing tables if you're a separate business. But if you're to bring somebody and they don't have a banner or something, right? Because New York State, we have like this sales vendor tax rule. So you have to have each individual vendor has to have their own sales tax vendor ID permit or certificate. So if that person, technically they can't go under yours, so they get all bent out of shape for it, and you run the risk of getting banned from the show if you get caught doing that. So a lot of people don't want to do it as much. So yeah. For us, I would share all day, man. I would, if I could, I would grab extra tables and give them out to my friends, but you know, they find out, it's just like, what the hell.
Yeah. So it was overall a good show.
Yes. Gecko Gambit vended the same show I did. That's Joseph. He was vending White Plains too, and yeah, they're very strict with every single thing. So it's kind of like,
what's up, Joseph? Good to see ya.
Yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed it. We're going to be doing Anaheim in, is it July? July. And we'll be doing it big. We'll have a bunch of tables, so it'll be good.
We're going to show out again.
If my wife lets me, maybe I'll fly out.
Come hang out, dude. Come hang out.
Maybe she's listening on this live.
Michelle wants to come too.
Maybe we'll buy you a snake and send it home with you when
she wants to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, then now that's definitely not. I'm not allowed to go.
Disneyland's right
maybe next door. Maybe I'll send a snake to your house if you don't go.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Did we buy anything at the show, AJ?
I bought a couple 100% Hadexanthic females from Ruby.
I bought one.
I don't think I bought anything else, did I?
Okay. I bought a couple dark phantoms.
Yeah, I bought one
from Gecko Kai.
Yeah.
I lost one. It got lost.
I want to see it. You showed me.
We'll show you.
Yeah.
Mine is about 2 grams. So.
Oh, okay.
Mine was about 3 grams, and it shot out of the bin, and now it's roaming. I have no idea where it is. It's been lost for 4 days.
You'll find it.
No idea where it is. Yeah, but that's it. It kept it kind of low key.
Yeah, we didn't buy much at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Oh, you got a snake, right?
Oh, I did get a snake. I got snake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a California king snake, which is fun.
Cali king.
The regular banded ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like the banded. I like the banded ones more than the striped ones. So
I like the gray banded ones.
Those are cool too. I like those.
I had one escaped.
I like the black ones, all black. The black king snakes.
Black.
Yeah, those are beautiful. Yeah, I might get one. How do you prepare for vending your first show? Things you need and don't need. You don't need a lot of things,
bro.
Okay.
Be prepared to be tired.
Okay.
Yeah. Wear good shoes.
Things you actually need: tablecloth, some kind of ID for your business. So whether that's like a banner, a branded tablecloth, a banner,
some
a
cards.
Table runner. I would have some kind of a card or a way to point people to your socials, a QR code or something. Some way to light your booth.
Yes.
Your animals can
a
lot of people actually don't use lights, which is really surprising.
Yeah. So some way to light your booth.
Yeah.
Usually like the newer people don't do it, but like the veterans usually have lights.
Yeah.
Ones that do it a lot, that rely on these shows.
Yeah, the lights are important, I feel like.
What else?
Paper towels.
A lot of paper towels.
Extra deli cups.
Spray bottles.
Lube. I thought you said lube, and I was like, what?
I was like, lube?
Also, lube.
Why do we need lube, bro?
Any sort of geckos that have their hemipenes that are stuck out.
Honey. Some sugar, a packet of sugar to throw on the hemipene.
Bring a bottle of honey with you.
What else do you need?
Snacks.
Towels. I like to bring microfiber towels just to wipe down shit. You know,
bring ways to take payments, Square card reader
Card reader.
Venmo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I did this? You know what I did this time?
What
I brought a speaker.
was that
For
nice?
music.
Yeah, I loved it, man. It made it so much better.
Ooh, did you
And
pick
I-
what rock? Gecko Chunky
I
style?
100% did.
You played some Creed
I
and some Nickelback.
swear. Creed, Nickelback, all of it, man. I swear. And it wasn't even like intentional because I put the radios, like Pandora radio station 90s rock music, and that was what it was all.
That's awesome.
You blast it.
Oh, I got in trouble, yeah. When Kid Rock was playing, the Meredith, the show host, came over, said, "You got to turn that down." I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
That's
Oh
funny.
man.
But yeah, you don't need a lot. I mean, you need
don't
the
need that.
you need the basics. Yeah, wear good
snacks and water.
shoes,
Wear comfortable shoes.
water, food, somebody to give you a bathroom break,
Yeah, that's important. Yeah,
somebody to
bring
watch
some
your
snacks, 'cause
tables
you're
so
gonna
you can leave.
a lot of times I'm just standing there. I miss lunch both days. Even for Anaheim. It's just because you just get busy, And so bring some snacks. Some
Hot
trail
dog
mix.
roller.
Hot dog
Bring
roller.
your own hot dog roller.
Pull out of your pocket. Tater tots in your pocket. Napoleon.
Oh, you know what's? I'm gonna tell you. You know what's actually a good tip?
Yeah.
Carry like honey cough drops or something because you spend
Yeah,
so much
your
time
throat
That's
talking.
is
true.
raw.
That's a
your
good
throat
one.
hurts. Yeah,
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah.
yeah.
Glowing geckos, tips for vending alone. Get a catheter, put it in before the show. Get a milk jug, run that line to the jug.
Have a have a Gatorade sized bottle under the table. That's for the guys though.
Have a funnel.
Girls have funnels.
Funnel.
Oh man.
God.
Is there any unwritten rules on what size a gecko should be to sell at a show? 10 grams more or less?
Probably like 5 or more.
5 or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, I think we've definitely seen smaller, like 3, 4, but it doesn't look as good. The bigger they are, the more eye-catching it is. So
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
Get them a little bit bigger for sure.
I've seen a guy who the gecko hatched 3 days prior to the show, and then he brought it, and I said to him, I was like, "Yo, did this thing just hatch?" He goes, "No, it hatched 3 days ago." I'm like,
Oh
"What?"
gosh.
I said,
I like it
"You
how
can't
he
do
comes back like that's a better answer.
That's what I mean, bro. It just hatched.
Oh,
that."
that's funny.
Wow.
Oh, here you go. Joseph says equipment is important, but presence and demeanor is so overlooked. That's true.
Yeah.
The amount of people on their phones not paying attention, customers, yeah.
Or people sitting
yeah.
down and not talking, not standing and engaging customers is crazy.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
true.
You got to be standing and you got to be engaged, smile on your face, ask people how their day is going, if you can help them, all that,
Mhm.
This is, that is very true. Do you recommend nets or showcases? We don't use nets. Adrian
But
and
Brian uses cases and I don't.
Yeah.
And I also have a Glock 26 on me. Try to steal my shit.
When Brian's turning and chatting with somebody else, snag it right off the corner. You'll get
and then you'll get shot.
He won't see you. He won't see you.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? I was this is back in early 2000s, and this guy had like each leopard gecko was individually tubbed, and he had each one taped. So if you were to pull it off, an alarm would go off.
Yeah.
So it was like a magnet. So every time he pulled it, if you pulled it up off the thing, it would go wheel, wheel, wheel. I was like, yo, that's fucking genius. But he didn't. I mean, he only had like 30 animals on his table.
Okay.
But it was wild. Like because he taped the magnet under the tub.
So as soon as that connection,
once it broke the alarm went off. Yeah.
Wow.
So what if? I mean, how do you pick it up to look at it then?
You don't.
No, well, he tells you. He's like, hey, if you're gonna do it, then he'll disable the alarm.
Okay.
And then take it off. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, that's freaking pretty genius.
Yeah, it just sucks if you have like 100 geckos and you have to put magnets under all the delis.
Never saw him again.
Oh.
One and done.
Is there a website that have pre-built deli cup holders? Oh, the PVC.
Oh yeah,
you
there's a
mean?
lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like
I don't know who all makes those. A lot of people make those.
Reptile Supply or the TSK?
AP Cages does, I think, and
Mm,
so does Leland. DW Geckos makes deli cup pre-cuts.
yeah.
They're easy to do, man. You just get a hole
Hole
saw
saw,
and
4-inch hole saw, bang, bang, bang. Just use plywood and paint it black.
But and then dress it up with some LED lights. You're good.
Yeah, but Alexis, like walking around, a lot of people do have nets.
I don't like it though.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But Ruby Reptiles had nets. Steve Sykes tables all netted all the time.
But I feel like the people who have nets, the tables that have nets are like Josh's Frogs, Triple L, Geckos, etc. It's people that have like 20 booths and they can't like monitor their animals. But if you're one person with one table, a net just feels, I don't know. It just feels tacky to me.
Speaking of Steve Sykes, did you guys talk to Steve?
He's never coming on. He doesn't even watch the Gecko Pod. He doesn't know who we are.
Oh man,
Steve Sykes.
We're too lowly for him.
He's gonna be so upset if I go to Anaheim.
Dude, okay, I saw Steve Sykes walk by. He doesn't know who we are.
No, did he even say hi? He didn't even say hi to you, AJ?
No. Of course not. No, he never said hi to us before. Yeah, he doesn't know who we are. It's okay. It's fine. No, people don't have to know who we are, by the way. So if Steve Sykes sees this, don't worry, Steve. We don't.
Steve, we like you, but you don't have to come on the show.
Steve, Brian, who's not going to bother you? He's on the
Steve, if you want to get rid of those knob tails that you're sitting on, you better get on the show.
That's a story for another day. Ask us about Tinley and Steve Sykes. Yeah,
Brian bothering Steve Sykes.
Just ask us about that. Brian might have a restraining order by next Tinley.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay, what's the next question? How do you price animals in general? More pattern, color, structure, age, sex. How do you ensure you are keeping consistency with your own prices?
It's a good question. I think
Nicole asks.
I think that they were asking mainly about shows. I think that it was also brought up, like, do you compare to like Morph Market before you do things? So let's just take that into, I'll add that into my half of the answer. What do you think, Harry? What do you take into consideration when you're pricing?
So I price things according to what I've seen. One, what I've seen from Morph Market and how people price their geckos through IG stories and whatnot, and according to how much I would pay or not pay. So I price actually pretty low because I feel like some things that I feel would have been much higher before, I kind of price a lot lower for my stuff in general, especially at shows, because I'm worried that I overprice. I'm more worried that I overprice than underprice. And also, I want to move things for sure. So I feel like a good price point in general, depending on kind of like low stuff, is like anywhere within the range of 1 to 2, 150 to maybe. And then I kind of go off of that gauge and go up and down accordingly to certain animals. I'm not sure that's the best way to do it. That's just kind of how I'm kind of rolling at the moment.
But with this question, so Morph, obviously,
Morph, like
we know, like, okay, what's a base price for whatever, a lily white? Okay, we say the base price for a lily white is $200 or whatever. It's like the cheapest lily white you'd sell at a show right now. Whatever, pick a number, and it's like, okay, is this quality of this lily white that? No, this is a pretty nice one. Okay, so maybe it's 400, or maybe it's 350, or it's 500. Is it a female? Okay, it's a little bit more
higher.
How big is it? Okay, it's pretty small. Okay, well, I'm not going to really upcharge for size, so it's like you are taking into consideration a lot of those things.
Correct. Yes.
So you're kind of walking down the trail of like, what is it? How big is it? Sex, quality, and then you kind of land at a price. But then I would say as far as if I was going to look at Morph Market for a comparable animal from a breeder that has like good lineaged animals, good quality animals, it has to be cheaper than Morph Market, in my opinion. Because if people are coming to a show,
Yeah.
they need to be engaged to buy at the show more than like, why would they buy from you if they could just buy from Morph Market for the same price? So there has to be a price incentive to buy in person as well. So pass on some of that savings to the customer for saving you the time and effort of shipping and doing all of that as well. So that's worth something to us as breeders as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I do think pricing is one of those interesting things, you know, like AJ, when we were chatting post with Brett, then we were talking about kind of the mid-tier pricing and how a lot of the mid-tier pricing is really tricky because, you know, something that might go for that you think is valued at $500-$600, like it's hard to sell that mid-tier at shows, right? So you guys essentially have to kind of lower those prices.
Yeah, it's like the low end you can sell, the mid end, like animals you think are worth $400 or $500, you have to sell them for like $200, $250.
Yeah,
and then the upper end, like the $1,000, $1,500 plus animals,
cheaper.
No, I mean, I feel like the pricing stays
relative.
I think it's comparable to online, like the higher end animals. But that mid range is tough. I feel like you do kind of have to flex on the mid range a little bit.
Yeah. So you think people that are coming in sometimes are either high end breeders, so they're gonna pay for your top end stuff, or else just pet people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People either want the best or they want like cheap. So the mid range is hard. So it has to be like good enough and cheap enough that people buy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian?
How do you price your geckos?
I mean, just be very in tune with the market, you know, just constantly looking at animals for sale. Even though you're not looking to buy, just kind of see what gauges, like what people are actually, not what people are posting, but what's actually selling. So you want to be like, oh, all right, that sold for $600-$700, and this is fairly similar. And obviously, there's a big factor in obviously male and females. Females actually demand a higher price unless it's ultra high end. And morphs, yeah, like you said, man, there's a base price. You start with your base price and go based on quality. And it's like, I think it goes based on like how available is the animal, right? Like if there's tons of the same thing, like I produced about 500 animals this year, and more than half look very on par with what everybody else has available, right? So I would say, like, you know, this like very similar, not like everybody else, but like in terms of
like Harlequin style animals.
Yeah, Harlequin, pinstriped animals, and I produced a lot of those. So there's a lot of that available. So you just got to make your pricing either, like I like to price at shows like 20% below what I would ask online, you know, usually. And I say that's pretty much, that's like a fixed number, 20% below what I would ask online. And obviously, you know, I like to do things like if people are to buy multiple, I'll give a good deal on multiple. Because as a breeder, if you get rid of a bunch of animals in a short period of time, you free up space, you have less care you have to do, and you make a few dollars, because at the end of the day, it's the same amount of effort that it takes to make a $2,000 gecko. It is the same to make a $50 gecko or a $100 gecko, right? It's the same exact thing. So,
but the nature of it is, you breed a pair, even of ultra high end, you're going to get a couple of those really high end geckos. Then you're going to get like eight
more mid,
and then like 2 low ends.
So
exactly. The mids are where a lot of people struggle, me included.
Yeah. Mids are, I mean, yeah, that's probably the hardest part because then you would have to price them closer to the low, the mid stuff.
Let me insert this question for a second. Here, I saw your auction gecko on Morph Market. Were you satisfied with ending price? So my auction animal. So we could talk about that too a little bit of the Morph Market, auction. So let me just post this up. Let me just post this up for a second so you guys can see. Okay. All right. So here's the animal. I listed it $10, no reserve, and got a good amount of bids, right? And then so it went up to $200. I was like, okay, that's fair. And then it all of a sudden jumped to $400. And I was like, okay, that's a troll bid. And so the auction just ended. The auction just ended today. Sure enough, it was a troll bid. The person's not going to pay out. And so
did they say that or just ignored you?
So Academy Geckos, Hannah, the same person bid on her animal and also trolled and said she's not paying. So here we are stuck with a broken auction.
It's so broken, man.
It needs to be fixed somehow. I don't know how we're going to fix it, but we'll figure it out. But so do you think more people put bids in since you had no reserve price? I think so. I think no reserve is always a good thing because what if you're bidding on, let's say the reserve is $200, you start the bid at 10. Like, to me, it doesn't even matter. We've done eBay so much already that the reserve is kind of ridiculous. Just either buy it now or no reserve, just let it run. So yes, no reserve. I'm a fan
let
of
it ride.
Be okay with selling for $50 and just let it ride. Yep.
So, but you got real bids all the way up to 200. You got a bunch of bids.
Yeah, because I know
it shows that like if you would have just sold it at that, like you would have been happy. Like, oh, I sold it for 210. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
So I'll reach back out to some of the people who bid. But the thing is, on Morph Market, you can't see all the bids are anonymous, so you don't know who bid on it. So I had to figure it out on the back end.
Why don't they just show? That'd be an easy fix.
Yeah.
I do not know. So
yeah.
Anyway, there's that. Any other questions or thoughts about pricing and whatnot?
No, I mean, I think a lot of people. I think you also have to be honest with yourself on how nice things are or aren't, because everybody produces animals that are not the best, and I think sometimes you can be blinded by like, oh, well, they're all amazing to you, but it doesn't mean that they're all valuable to someone else. So being realistic with the market and knowing what you have and what its value is in the market.
Yeah, I feel like you'll learn quickly that you won't be able to sell certain things at the price you originally think you want them to sell at, and then people start have to adjust price. So you'll find out, and you'll be humbled. I think we're all humbled by what we can and can't sell. So,
yeah, for sure.
Want to talk a little bit about the hypoleucistic? There's several questions about it.
Okay.
Are the new hypomorph leucistic geckos healthy? Are they like super lily whites? Thoughts on the hypo in general?
I don't think it's anything like the super lily whites because they grown to adults. Are they nice looking? No. Who knows if they're healthy? Nobody really knows anything except a few breeders in Korea, Reptiles by Mac, and the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we know much. I think it's just like right now we're just kind of taking people's words for it. But how many adult pinkies are there? Less than 20. I don't know.
Yeah,
very, very few. Who knows? Mac might have like 1,000. So,
so I think they only sold one, and then they removed
the rest of them.
They pulled them all off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, when they dropped them, what was it? Was it 20 and 15?
25 and 10.
That's what it was.
Or 25 and 15.
10 for the heterozygous, 25 for the visual.
Do they still have it on the website though? Reptiles.
No. I don't know if they have the picture of it. Okay, but it's no longer available.
What's the other question, Harry, about hypo?
What is the other question? Can you explain the term hypo? What is hypo? How do you identify hypo?
So let's talk about actual hypo, not
Yes.
genetic hypo.
Yes.
What
Like
people call
crested gecko hypo or like scientific hypo?
Scientific hypo.
Why don't you start with scientific hypo, Brian, and then I'll do crested gecko hypo.
Scientific is hypomelanistic, meaning the reduction of dark pigmentation.
And in crested geckos, the examples that I can give are the way, so when this gene is in play, the way it impacts base colors, right? So red becomes pink, black becomes lavender, yellow, like dark yellow, becomes very light yellow, like almost like white yellow, right?
Basically faded colors.
Yeah, so it's basically taking those base colors and pulling some dark pigment, not all, because a true hypo animal would be lacking most dark pigment, which isn't. I don't even know if it's the term is being used correctly in crested geckos, because you can have hypo animals that are black,
Mm-hmm.
but it is changing the base color of the animal to like an alternate version of the primary bases, which are red, yellow, and dark.
So what do you think is the cause to that though? Like, do you think it's a genetic trait or
I do think it's a
or
genetic trait.
a line bred trait or what?
I do think
Genetic?
it's a genetic trait because you can take, and I've seen it where you can take animals that are, say, yellow and breed them. Yeah, animals that are hypo yellows, so like those very light pale base yellows, breed it to a dark animal that's not lavender, and you can make lavenders out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that it's a genetic trait. I don't think that it's maybe as maybe not quite as interesting as people think it is. To me, I'm like, oh, it just kind of like, think about the base colors. To me, it's kind of like A, B, like you kind of get like alternate versions, different base colors, slightly different combinations of things. But yeah, so how you would identify is based on the color of the animal.
Is so DNA Gecko's Dallas is saying genetic hypo is a form of super cat. Going back to the genetic hypo animal. So this is the genetic hypo animal, right?
That is a theory that has been raised. The reason why I would say I don't agree with that is I've seen the heterozygous forms in person, and they're not caps. They don't look anything like caps.
Mm-hmm.
And the homozygous version has normal nostrils. It's different. I mean, it's significantly different in person. I would say it's not cap.
Okay.
I think it's convenient that Mac made both, where you could just be like, oh, it's just a variation on cap. But the fact that the juveniles, the heterozygous, the single copy gene versions don't look cap at all.
So they just look like regular animals?
No, I mean they do have a look to them, but they don't look like caps.
Okay.
And then there is super caps that are lighter colored, but they're not the same thing. I mean, if you actually break down, like if you actually saw them in person, there's like light gray super caps that look whitish, but they all have the reduced nostril size. They have the like reduction in fat in their tails. They get the hip protrusions, the like crazy floppy tail. They eventually just fail because their like bones and fat and everything are just jacked up. So I don't think it's the same thing. But
it's hypo recessive gene. I don't know much about hypo.
I think they claim it's dominant. I think
Okay.
if you checked LM's side, I think he claims it's dominant. I might be wrong though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, you don't work with a lot of hypo, do you?
I mean, I guess I have some floating in some of my animals, but nothing that I really care about.
You're not like trying to isolate it.
No.
Yeah.
Not like cold fusion.
You have cold fusion?
I got
You
rid of
don't.
my cold fusion.
Oh. No cold fusion.
Mine went to Astro Cresties.
Cresties.
Yeah, went to Astro Cresties
Mm.
this week. They can
Nice.
continue the cold fusion stuff over there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Should you pair a Harley and a quad pinner? What will you get? Will the offspring be whack? Added
whack.
this last one.
Did you say? Did you put the whack part in?
Added the whack part.
I'm like, that
Whack.
sounds like you, not like the person I have.
Yeah, what do we get? But the question is legit. That's not my question though. I just added the last question. Will the offspring be whack?
It made the question better.
It made it sound like Harry wrote it.
Whack.
What happens when we put Harleys and quad pins together? The Harley naturally
Has a lot of
fights-
tiger.
lots of
So
tiger
think
that
about
fight
the
the
pattern.
pins, so it breaks up the pins. But if
Yep.
you have a this is why we have Emily Burke animals that are quad stripe pinners that are full pins, because it's just more dominant. It feels like the pinstripe and quad stripe.
Yeah, when pinstripe is stacked together repeatedly,
Yeah.
then you start.
It has that,
Because I remember when we
horizontal
first started
pattern.
producing pinstripes, like they didn't have the first ones when we were just struggling to get the pinstripe full.
Yeah,
They weren't quads. But then as soon as like we were getting full pins and then we're bringing full pins together, then we see the lines start spreading and getting these quad stripes on the laterals. And it's like,
Yeah.
And then it goes further than that. And then it's like the leg fringe like thickens. And you can just see pinstripe interacting the more it's compounded on itself. So pinstripe in nature is more lateral pattern. And then Harlequin with La Tiger is more vertical pattern. So bred together, I mean, you're probably going to get Tiger's pretty dominant.
Yeah.
So I would say the Tiger is probably going to push that pinning around and push that quad striping around quite a bit. So it depends. I mean, if you want animals that are kind of in the middle of those two things, then that's probably what you're going to get.
We do see a good amount of that, right? It's kind of like you have the white wall, you see the kind of the quad, and then you have some snowflaking, white spotting,
or some tiger that's kind of taking that straight line and it's bending it,
chopping it a little bit. Yeah, but you can still see the clear kind of quad striping. So you get a mishmash of both things, I guess.
You're probably not going to get like a really good version of either.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get everything in the middle.
Yes.
Whack.
Yes.
It's going to be whack.
Brian says it's going to be whack.
I mean,
you won't get a great Harlequin and you probably won't get a great quad stripe.
Yeah.
You'll probably get something that's in the middle of both.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for that, then it's not whack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I tend to, I'm more drawn to Harleys, and so this is where Harleys and Tigers come in, and I like less pinning. I think it looks better.
Yeah.
Because then you see the Harley and the triple X and the Tigering start to break in, and I like the wraparound. So I know there's a lot of good quad pinners. Like Chad does them, Emily does them.
Yeah.
A lot of people do them, but I tend to go the other way with the Tigers and the Harleys. So
yeah, I like that. I'm like you. I like the same thing. I like the Tiger Harley stuff.
Yeah.
Pattern breakup, kind of give it like a little difference, But yeah, there's nice pinners too out there.
There are a lot of good pinners. Okay. How do you ship when both the delivering and receiving end are very different? Say one is nice and warm in California, and then out in, I don't know, Wisconsin or Colorado, somewhere where it's snowing. How do you guys deliver? ship?
I feel like warm to cold is easier than cold to warm.
Mm.
Like,
Why? Why?
so when you ship warm to cold, so say I was shipping from here when it's so when I'm shipping here and I'm shipping to someplace that's cold and it's relatively warm here. Say it's 85 degrees here, it's 80 degrees here, and it's 30 degrees where I'm shipping to. I can time when I pack the box and when the heat pack is actually going to kick in, and when I drop the package off, where the animal and the box will not really get warm until it's already out of my region that is warm.
Mm.
So you can kind of delay when that heat is going to hit
Yeah,
in the
I see.
box, where when you're shipping cold to warm, I have to heat pack it to get it out, but I need it to die off. I need the heat to end before
Once
it
you hit the
hits
warm
the
spot.
destination.
Yeah.
So that's harder. It's not impossible, but it's harder.
Yeah.
So you're basically playing with combinations of heat packs, cold packs, cryo packs, inside the styrofoam, outside the styrofoam, how big the box is. You're playing with combinations of those things and timing of like, do I drop the box off early? Do I drop the box off right before they close? Depending on your weather, their weather, what heat or cold packs you're putting in the box. So it's kind of this like formula of just thinking about what temperatures the box are going to experience in the timeline. Like you should know from the point I know for me, from the point I drop my boxes off, they hit like Indy or Memphis by about midnight. So I know typically they'll hit that point by midnight. They'll leave by like 3 to 4 in the morning from that point, and then they'll hit the hub, 8 or 9 in the morning. So I know roughly, assuming there's not delays, kind of what the timeline is, and I can plan based off of that.
Got it.
What do you think, Brian?
I'm pretty much, I've never done that where like I time the heat pack. I just make sure that the heat pack's not, there's a good separation between the heat pack and the Gecko. Like I'll have a cryo pack, some thick packing paper in between. I feel like with the styrofoam, if you can just maintain that perfect temperature with the cryo pack and the heat pack, regardless of the outside temperature, it should maintain a certain degree inside, unless like it's really dramatic. So because you won't, granted, if it was like outside and it's like 30 degrees, when you're going from, let's say, 80 to 30, the styrofoam will gradually only allow the temperature to change in there, because that's what it is. It's supposed to insulate. So I don't know. I never had any problems doing anything. I've shipped from here where it was 30, and then where was it? I just shipped not too long ago. Oh, California. I shipped to California and it was like 78 degrees, like in December, sometime in December. And there was no issues. I always ask them whenever I ship. I always ask, was the cryo pack solid or liquid? And usually they tell me it's in between.
Which is perfect.
And I use a heat pack every time. And during when temperatures are below 40.
I'll also say when I ship, I typically will prioritize keeping the animal. This might be, I don't know if this is unpopular opinion. I'd rather the animals be slightly too cold than slightly too hot. So if there's like a choice that I have to make where it's like, will the gecko be 60 degrees or will they be 90 degrees? I'm going to choose 60 degrees. Like if I can choose a temperature, like I'm not afraid of the geckos getting 50, 55 degrees. If that means they're not going to get 90 degrees. So I like when we shipped out to California, like when we ship out to Anaheim, right? I'll cold pack that box pretty cold because I want to make sure like the animals will be fine. If they get a little cold, they'll warm right up, but I don't want to cook them. So
Yeah.
I often err on the side of too cold than too warm.
It's like Florida with the iguanas. It'll
Yeah.
drop to like below 40. They'll freeze.
They
but
look
once
like
it
they're
warms
gonna
up,
die. They look like they're dead, and then they just pop back up.
and they come right back up.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, so I'll tell you this: I shipped a box down. I vended a show in Florida, and I shipped a box down, and that box got caught in a freak, not in the weather radar ice storm in Memphis, and it got stuck for like an additional 24 hours. When I opened that box in Florida, when they handed me the box in Florida, so it's 90 something degrees in Florida, they handed me the box. It was like it just came out of a freezer. The box, like the physical box, the cardboard of it was that cold. And I was like, oh my gosh. I opened that thing up and the animals are like crawling like super slow. And I was just like, this is not good. But I put them out in like a 73, 74 degree room and let them just chill with the lid off the box. And like an hour later, you'd never know anything happened. They were perfectly fine. But I was like, okay, that's good to know. This sucked, but it's good to know, as far as like what happens when these things get a little too cold,
Yeah.
So yeah. It's a delicate balance of shipping animals in those kind of shoulder seasons.
If it's just 45 to 65 degrees, would you just use a cryo pack? So would you guys use heat packs basically if it's that low or
no?
sufficient?
I would cryo only in that. Me personally.
Yeah, I've just cryoed when it's within
liquid
that range.
cryo only.
Yeah,
because the box is not going to be seeing those temperatures for longer than like 10 minutes at a time. It's only really going to be seeing those temperatures transporting from like the hub in a truck to the plane to getting loaded on. It's not going to be sitting in those temps for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
So you have to remember
you would use you would use a heat pack if it's below 40. What do you think?
I would say I really only use I probably use heat packs if the arrival temps are below 42, 40, 42.
And some people don't even ship.
What about, I mean, even if the hubs are below 40, you would do it too, right? Like even if it was like Memphis or Indianapolis.
I would say if it was for
arrival.
If Memphis and Indy, I don't know, I'd probably heat pack it. I'd probably heat pack it. If everywhere's temps were sub 50, I would heat pack it.
I would just be worried about like, okay, if Memphis has 2 days of below 40, just in case, you want to delayed.
If it's
how
like
many times have that happened?
If the center location is because they almost never, like, in every package I've ever shipped, they don't get delayed in the destination state. They get delayed at Memphis or Indy. They almost never get stuck. Say I'm shipping to New York and it goes me, Indy, New York. They never get stuck in New York for an extra 12 hours. That never happens.
Yeah, no.
They always get stuck at the midway point. So say I was shipping from here to Indy to New York, and this wouldn't be the case, but theoretically here it's moderate. Indy, it's 55. New York, it's 40. I probably wouldn't heat pack it because I know that it's not. I mean, I could. It's one of those shoulder things, but like I more worry about Memphis and Indy than I do the final destination.
Yeah.
Because the final destination has never given me troubles in almost 20 years. It's always the midway point.
Yeah. The ones with the possible delays.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They really need to fix that shit.
Yeah.
It's always the sorting facility, the freaking hubs that always have.
Yeah, it's always the sorting facility.
How many females should a seasoned vet male breeder have each season? It depends.
Seasoned
35.
Realistically, though, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think most people
5.
probably do like 5 or less.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do more if like you had to for like a project, but most people do 5 or less.
Agreed.
Because you also,
you know what?
do you want like 100, 150 offspring with the same male's name tied to it in 1 year?
No.
You don't want to
Yeah.
try to sell that many offspring with the same lineage.
So it's almost like it's not even about how many can it actually physically do. It's
But
more
how
about
many
like,
can you sell?
do you want to not outcross things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want everything to be related to that? All your holdbacks to share the same
Mm.
male?
Yeah. I think
But-
I average like most of my males are usually 2 females, and then with the exception of a couple that have 3, 4, 5. You know, but most majority is 2 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hit up around 3, 4, depending on the male and the projects I'm doing.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks for the reptile room: favorite sprayers, grow out bins, food bowl, washer, etc. Is from Spotted Lily.
Let's go watch Brian.
You know-
Go watch Brian Who's hot tip videos.
All right,
That's my favorite stuff.
Okay, so normally, everyone has the red sprayer, the pump sprayer.
Yeah.
Everybody has that one, right? But then I've actually liked this cheap one that we bring.
Oh,
the
the Lowe's.
$2 Lowe's one.
This is
Or Home
$3.99,
Depot.
right?
Yeah.
And then
They're great.
This is awesome. You just like do like 3 sprays in here and you're good. Like it's so
Yep.
easy. So this
I
is $4.
I use those.
Actually.
I use those too.
Yeah, this
I
is
use
that
that.
the brand?
That's my
That's the
show
Zero's
bottle.
yeah, show
Zero's-
bottle.
Zero's Gecko branded one.
Oh, yeah, if you want to buy one, it's $50. I'll put a
I don't
sticker
got
on
a sticker. I want a sticker.
it. Oh, I gotta give you stickers, bro.
It's $75
Yeah.
if you put 2 stickers.
So anyway, yeah, you don't have to go expensive. These are nice.
So favorite sprayers. I use the Ryobi 2-gallon 18-volt one.
Oh,
It's the cheapest. It's the cheapest one. It works well. I don't have any issues with it. I think I bought it for under $100 with the battery.
this thing,
I
right?
I probably fill that thing 50 times before or more before I have to actually charge the battery.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Pretty good. It's 2 gallons.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, bro, it doesn't mist like your mist wand, bro. Like every time I mist my stuff, I'm like, I wish I had AJ's mist wand.
You can
'Cause
get
so
one,
much-
man.
So much pressure comes out of there.
It's
because
crazy how much pressure.
It's amazing. And
If
like,
you
this
actually
one's
like the end where you
the
can like,
valve.
where you can change the fineness of the spray. So if you open it all the way up where it's a stream, I did that the other day. It shoots like 40 feet.
Wow. It's like a Super Soaker 500.
Oh, there's a 2-gallon pump sprayer for $15. I think that's the one where you auto pump,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that actually works good.
I got big enough forearms.
The one that you and I have, Brian, it's battery powered and it basically auto shoots. Yeah.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah, and for food bowl washers, if you're not using glass, use a portable washing machine. I recommend the one Harry got. Because I got the one with the spin dryer thing.
You don't need
Bro,
that. Yeah.
It works if you're only doing like 100 caps. But for me, it makes no sense.
How many caps how long does the cycle take to wash them?
15 minutes.
So
how many can you wash in there?
I did about 1,500, I think, was the most I've done.
You can do 1,500 in one, and that's the water bottle caps, the little ones.
Yeah. No, those are the bigger
Gatorade
ones.
caps?
The one step below Gatorade, the gallon water bottle.
Okay,
caps.
you can do 1,500 of those. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot.
15 minutes, one cycle. You don't have to run them twice.
I do twice.
I do
because,
twice too. Yeah.
Because there's so much gook in the first one, and then the second one pretty much is like a rinse cycle.
Yeah. So I actually soak mine overnight with dishwashing soap, and then I'll run it twice the next day. So and then it gets all this stuff out. So I use.
And then do you dry yours? How do you dry yours, Harry?
I just take it once it's washed. I take everything out, and I just let it sit for another day. So I have two groups of everything. So
with those, because you're using that kind of a cup, do you pull those
Yeah.
out and do you like stack them so that they can dry? Because they hold water. Like I get where they hold water in
I'll pull them out. So I'll go through them and pull them out really quick so that all the water's flushed out, and then
Okay.
I'll just let them sit for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And they dry pretty good.
Because I run mine through a normal washing machine and then through a normal dryer.
Oh,
put
okay.
a net.
Use the
You put
dryer.
them in net bags,
Net
right?
bags,
Net
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I put them in net bags.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Delicate
Yeah.
bags. So in my new facility, I'm going to do a stackable washer dryer so that I can just do a billion cups through it. So
Just a straight Gecko washer.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop the
good.
links. Nicole, you could DM me too. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I think I want to get rid. I feel like throwing out my washing machine. I'd probably give it away to somebody local if they want it. I'm gonna buy the one you got because you know what's messed up. I changed my slop sink, and now the washing machine doesn't fit inside of it,
Yeah.
and I
So
have
Do you
to.
have to run a hose out?
No, I have it sitting on top of my brand new washer that has glass top now. I'm like,
You
man,
don't
this
wanna
thing's gonna
scratch it.
break. Yeah.
Yeah. I just do my stuff
Fun.
outside. So, since I don't have a slop sink.
Yeah, I mean, it's 15 degrees outside here in New York.
It's crazy cold. Yeah.
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 I think we covered most of that.
We covered. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff. You can always ping us for more tips. Morphs that you believe will be popular this year. We can't say fully.
No.
Pattern animals, patterned dowels.
Pattern dowels. No.
Pattern dowels, tiger dowels.
Yes, pattern tiger dowels.
Tiger dowels.
Yeah. Well, morphs are always popular. You know, we have
Morphs are hot.
Sable.
Caps,
Everyone has a
traps,
sable now at this point.
sables,
Yeah.
axe, lilies.
Exantics are very affordable right now. We saw a lot of cheap.
Still lily whites too, man.
Lily whites too. Yeah.
Lily whites.
You can find a good one for $400.
Yeah. Yeah, lily whites. I think other things. I think like the porthole stuff is still popular. I think like phantom stuff in general is popular.
Yeah.
Tigers.
High coverage white stuff will always be popular.
Yeah, like really high white tricolor stuff, really high white, like just like black and white animals or black and cream animals.
Anything paper white.
Basically, everything is still popular, so don't worry about it.
Just very nice versions of things that are already popular will continue to be popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just maximize the traits that people want.
You know what's not popular?
No.
Genetic hypo.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, we only know like one person who has one, right?
Don't buy into the genetic hypo.
You'll be able to buy one for like $50 from Mac next.
Oh,
in like
bro,
6
yeah.
months, so.
Yeah.
Pay $10,000 today. Pay $20 tomorrow.
That's Reptiles by Mac way.
Yeah.
It's okay. They run their business the way they run it.
Yeah. Don't buy anything that Reptiles. Don't invest in anything that Reptiles by Mac has.
Talking about phantoms, we have an episode on phantoms. You can look back a few episodes with Little Monsters, but yeah, obviously there are still a lot of questions that pop up post, and so we can talk. Want to talk briefly about phantoms?
Yeah, I send everybody to that video whenever anybody messages me. I'm
like,
Brian,
did you feel like that was a decent video, Brian? That podcast talking about Phantom?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good. It had visuals for people to understand. But regardless, even if you have visuals, people still don't know. It's
Yeah.
I think it's something just only experience. You really have experienced people don't really know. So I mean,
yeah. I mean there's people that
don't
are
know
new and people that have been around a long time that still is kind of confusing too.
I guess you have to produce a bunch of it to know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after our Phantom episode, I was more confused, because you guys showed me a lot more uh, examples and whatnot, and Brian, right? We're chatting DMs, we were giving me examples, and that was very helpful actually, going through like
Yeah.
slide after slide of what's Phantom, what's not, and why. But what I come to realize is that even you guys say this, that it's hard to completely pinpoint how to define it. And I think it's because there are so many variables at play where
Other
sometimes it
genes
looks different.
interactions.
Yeah. So
Mm.
depending on this animal, it does this. Depending on this animal, it does this. And so because of that, it's hard to pinpoint exactly just a very specific formula for Phantom. So it's hard to tell. I find a lot of animals are still hard to tell Phantom.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, there are some that probably stump me even sometimes. Like there are some animals that if I didn't see it hatch out of the egg and knew it was Phantom from the egg, and then as they develop, I'm like, oh wow, that looks a little weird. And I was like, oh wow, that's a Phantom. But I'm gonna say I'm usually 99% spot on with it.
The only ones that get a little weird, and somebody tried to stump us with one on that LM episode, Harry, but
The yellows?
no, they get weird. Well, yeah, yellows, but when people have like animals that are yellow and they're old, like animals that are like 10 years old, where the because I have some yellows like that too, where it's like they originally were like white and yet like the back was white, right? But the sides were yellow.
Fades.
But then they get old and their back goes yellow and their sides go creamier. So like they basically blend and they look like a Phantom, but they're not.
Yeah.
And so getting like
tricky.
Especially on older animals, it can get kind of tricky. But if you look at if you have any younger photos of an animal, it should tell you what you need to know.
Yeah. Phantoms. Everyone keep learning. Don't think that some people will think they have Phantoms and they're not. I think that's a little bit funny.
Just go on Morph Market and filter by trait and put Phantom in, and then see how many non-Phantom animals you see.
Like half of them aren't Phantom.
That's all you need to do. Just do that, and then you'll know a lot of people that don't know what a Phantom is.
You know how you tell how it's a Phantom?
Because of the way it is.
You just look at it.
That's the best quote of all time. Yeah.
Just look at it.
Just look at it, bro.
You can tell. Just look at it.
Funny. Oh man.
Just look at it.
What would you consider high-end sables? Been seeing cheap and non-cheap. How do you define quality sables? That's a good question.
Head structure. Coverage. White coverage. So like how much actual white do they have on them that will be spreading? Head structure, lack of spots,
and base darkness. I think the darker ones are more.
The darker ones look
good
cool.
contrast ones, right?
And the ones that look more like when they fire down, they're like real kind of purple black.
Yeah,
those are really cool. Yeah, I think it just.
If you can't tell it's a sable and it looks like something random, it's probably not
a low quality sable.
It's probably not a good quality.
Yeah, if you look at it and you're like, "Is this a sable?" Then it's probably a pretty bad one. Because the really nice ones are very obvious.
Yeah.
Any
of you guys know of a place to get rack systems for baby geckos that are not crazy expensive? You can make your own if you have PVC.
Yeah. Ask
Andrew at White Tank Exotics.
He'll tell you.
Yeah. Ping Andrew.
Also, I don't know what crazy expensive is.
Yes.
Because what we're dealing with is the cost of PVC is very high. So
it is very high.
Your base price is always going to be like the cheapest you probably can get PVC or to get baby racks if you build them yourself is like I think Andrew said maybe he was like in the $7 to $10 per slot range.
Yeah, I think
so. Like imagine like one shoebox slot without the bin is like $7 to $10. So
yeah,
multiply that out over how many shoeboxes you need and add $2 for a bin and
$2 for the bin.
And you cannot use PVC if you want, but these are high humidity animals. So if you use melamine or you use
Oh.
wood that's painted, that
gonna
thing's
mold
going to
and rot.
last like a year and then it's going to be garbage. So
So get PVC.
I think you
Yo,
have to
Matt,
do.
imagine
do
it was
PVC.
PVC pricing prior to COVID, man. Everybody be buying rack systems like nothing.
Yeah.
They're so cheap before.
Yeah. How's the crested gecko market compared to chewies, lychees, gargs, yuris?
I think it's better. I personally think it is.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of friends that sell Chihuahua, sell lychees. I sell lychees. I sell gargs. I sell yuris. Yuris is always hot because I don't know. People just can't produce enough of them. But I can't really sell gargs right now. I can't really sell lychees right now. And I know a lot of people that have that same sentiment.
Yeah.
So I think
If I were
Crest.
to go based
ahead.
on the last show, cresteds were doing way better than any of the others.
Yeah. And the difference is, and I've preached this a long time, but people will own like an average person will own 100 crested geckos. That's not weird, right? For somebody to own 100 crested geckos. How many people do you know that own 100 leeches or own 100 gargoyles? Because gargs are the same size roughly as a crested gecko. But how many people own 100 gargs?
Or kahua.
Like no one.
Yeah. Because they just take longer to produce. Yeah.
And also they're not variable enough where people feel that, like with cresteds, you could line up 500 of them and almost none of them will be the same. You could line up like 20 gargs and like 5 of them will be almost the same. If you put like 20 red stripes in front of you, it's like, these like 5 to 10 are like 99% the same.
Yeah.
I do think so. You don't need 100 red stripes.
I do think that Tiki does pretty well selling gargs, right? So
but he's built it over 20 years.
Yeah, I think that's his main stuff. I think he does gargs more than cresteds. I could be wrong. David will let us know.
I think it's probably equal or maybe a little bit crested heavier.
I just know he always brings gargs to shows and he sells a good amount of them. So
yeah,
he does okay with gargs. I guess you have to be a pretty good garg breeder in terms of being well known, I guess. And you do okay. So yeah, that's good. The all exotics have gray tongues. That's
I don't know.
I don't know. This is a weird question.
I'm not looking at their tongues.
I'm gonna post this. Honest. Does it matter? Like, does it matter whether or not they have gray tongues?
I'll keep an eye on them. I'll tell you. I don't know. I'm also colorblind. I couldn't tell you if they're gray or pink. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, hey, me too.
How do you guys record that? Record your data for breedings, lineage, spreadsheets. What do you guys use to record that stuff? That's a good question.
I use. This is bad. I use my notes app on my phone a lot. So I have like pairing breakdowns in my phone. By the year, like I'll do different notes, and I'll do notes even for like things I want to pair together or projects that I want to do. And then I'll kind of take animals and plug them in to like, okay, I want to produce XYZ. Okay, well, what do I have that I could do that with? I'll take this animal and this animal, and I'll kind of plug that into the project note. Like, okay, I'll do that. But then as far as the actual cage, I actually got them in today. I'm excited about it. I got these Uline magnetic 3x5 index card holders.
Oh, you put them
I'm going to put them on all the cages so that I can keep more detailed notes for like the day to day, as far as like egg productions. Last time the male was put in the cage, things like that. 3x5, 3 inch by 5 inch.
Okay. It's like is it like a plastic and then you put the index card in?
Yeah. Okay. And then there's magnets. So I'm going to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
So just for like a more immediate data set when I'm looking at the cage. So
yeah, when I first started, I used Google Sheets.
Like these.
Oh, you do that too, Brian?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that.
You have a magnet thing on yours?
No, I have one of those. They have like plastic slots, and they're they're taped sticker. And I
Nice.
just slide it into the thing.
Nice.
But then like I'll put like the paired, fertile, the dates, and then this is last year, so I repaired them again this year. So
nice. Yep.
Yeah,
That's the kind of stuff I'm gonna do this year.
So much easier to keep track because you could just go to the cage and see.
Yeah.
I use wine glass markers and I just write it straight on the cage, straight over here. So I put
Oh,
the
I
date
see,
that it lays, the date that they're paired up or repaired or whatever, and how many they laid, if there's duds or whatnot.
Oh, nice.
And,
My handwriting's so bad that I can't do that. At least on a little card, I won't be embarrassed when people come over to my house and they see my handwriting.
Yeah, but when it comes to all the pairings and whatnot, I also use the notes app. I put down just so I have multiple areas to kind of pull up and look at the different.
I've never been a big Excel guy or a big like Google Sheets guy. I use it when I need to, but I'm not a big like data nerd. So that's just me. A lot of other people use it.
Reptiscan. Does anybody use Reptiscan? Have you guys ever used that?
No, all of those things. Like I know that a bunch of different companies have made these things. I never used. There was something back in the day called iHerp. There's like all these different platforms for like tracking pairings. I never did any of it. I always did things offline because I don't need a second job of inputting all that stuff and keeping up my database, on an app. Just sounds like torture to me.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it takes more work I guess if you don't have a huge collection, it's fine. But if you have like hundreds of animals, it's hard to manually input everything. Unless you have that time.
If you had just a few animals, sure.
Yeah. How do you guys label your eggs in tackle boxes? We put on the top of the thing, we put little labels on top of the egg. So there you go.
Oh, look. Babies too.
Yeah. So I use Max and Chelsea, I use these little post-its. I write down what the pairing is, the date of lay, and then when they hatch, I put down the hatch date. And I take this sticker, put it on the egg box, and then when they hatch, I'll take off this sticker and put it on the bin. So it keeps track of it.
Nice
and easy.
Yep, I use tape just like Brian does there.
Yeah, it's easier. You know what? When in the beginning, I used to use the label maker, but I was like, screw that, man. I'd be doing this forever. So tape and marker is so much easier.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah,
because I was so like.
I used to write on the egg
organization.
You used to write on the egg?
Yeah. I don't do that.
That used to be a thing where it was like, but like the thing hatch, if they slice the egg, like if they cut right where the marker is, you can't freaking read it.
Yeah.
So it's like I just do a single little mark for where the embryo is on the egg. Sometimes I don't even do it, but I'll do a little mark and then I'll write a label on top of that cell of the tack box.
Yeah. Do you guys house geckos together? We've
sometimes.
If you guys keep a pairing that is just gonna stick together forever, do you just keep them together like some, I don't know.
Yeah, like for like 4 years, Felix and Julia lived together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I have I only have a pair of Dallas. I just keep them together, and they're just there all together all the time. So,
and for like 2-3 years, Arcane, Built, and Bloodbath lived together.
Oh,
and they all were super happy. So I'm like, I'm not gonna pull them apart. Like I like the pairing, and they're all like, that's that female I sent you a picture of the other day. Brian in the group chat, there's like 85 grams.
Oh yeah, the monster.
Yeah, but the other female is like 80. And then the male was in there. And like, so obviously they're not stressed. They're fine.
Yeah, they're happy.
Yeah.
They're freaking massive. And they still crank out eggs, which I'm amazed by. With the weight they're at. A lot of times they don't lay when they get that big. But I think that it's very dependent on the situation. Some animals do not tolerate it. Like the males are just too aggressive and they'll basically breed the female to death. But yeah.
Yeah. Can you guys explain the snowflake gene? From James Smith. Snowflake is white spot, but how do we explain the snowflake in terms of drippiness, in terms of the blooms that the white spotting blooms? How would you guys define it?
Do you want me to answer, Brian? Do you want to answer?
Brian, you wanna?
I feel like it's like white speckling flecking that usually starts off as white flecking and speckling, and usually start to, as the gecko gets older, ages, starts to expand and spread and become fluffier and fluffier until, I mean, some cover a whole gecko. So it's just like, I don't know, like clouds. I would say it's like clouds. I don't know, how would you describe it? Like it's like white.
Yeah, when they get that big.
Yeah, whites as they age, it should spread the snowflaking, which starts usually when they hatch as like flecking or
yeah, it'll
small
look
white
it'll
spotting.
like little like flecking when they're young, and then they'll hit like 5 or 7 grams. You'll start to see these little like pinprick white spots.
It's like leaking,
So-
like it leaks into the base.
So if you
It's-
have like a phantom animal and portholes are examples of snowflakes, right? And white spotting.
I would actually say no.
No, okay.
I would
Except
say
games geckos, gaming.
yeah,
gamers,
that's white
that's
spot.
that's white spot
Oh, but let me
snowflaking.
pull that up while you guys talk about it.
What like Rockstar has and
Or underground.
They
Yeah.
really that would be
That's
just
not white
regular
spot.
portholing. That's
Yeah.
portholing.
So basically what that is that's white pattern from like red harlequin remaining in the phantom version of that animal.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, say that one more time. Sorry, I was in this.
So imagine you took like one of your like high white tricolors
Yeah.
and you made it into a phantom. The white pattern that remains is what is that white that is on the side of the
Good.
animal. So that's what's
Okay.
making those portholes. Where this is white spot.
That's white spot.
Because look at the
Yeah.
the spotting even on the back and the back legs and stuff. That's not just like
Yeah.
white pattern.
I see.
It's probably
Which
a
is-
combination of white pattern and white spot.
Dude, that's
I
crazy
feel like
though.
it's very rare to see that on Phantom. Very rare.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's pretty uncommon. That's such a cool animal.
Yeah.
Wish it
This
didn't
is
have
white-
spots.
This is snowflaking.
Yeah.
This isn't portholing. Because they're not portholes. Tiny should be like tinier spots, right? These are like
No,
huge.
I mean I would still
Yeah.
say that animal has portholes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's not like it can't be both.
Okay,
Yeah.
man,
They
that's
can
crazy.
be present in the same animal for sure.
These are portholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's porthole.
So yeah, Snowflake Gene. As far as inheritance, as far as I can tell, I do think that it's probably incomplete dominant, where the super form is just an increased, like significantly increased expression.
Yeah.
Because when I've bred super or like very, very, very strong visual animals to animals with no white spot at all,
Yeah.
I am getting some on all, but none that are extraordinary. And then when you breed hets together, one like decent white spots, you breed them together, you get some that are crazy, and then you get some with none, and then you get some with, that middle ground. So
Slayer has like white spotting, right?
yeah, I would say that's white spot.
Would the Slayer, so have you been able to replicate that with Slayer where it produces a good amount of white spotting, or not so much?
I have, but it's not super common. But it doesn't help that I didn't have females that played well with him as far as like the look for a lot of years. So I think this year I'll actually have stuff that. So I bred that red Phantom Lily White, the really nice one, to Slayer, and I got a bunch of animals out of that. So I think that'll be interesting to see, because that animal clearly has some additional white on it, because it came from two non-phantom animals that happen to be hats. That phantom, so it's pretty high coverage for being a phantom. So that bred to Slayer. I made 4 lily white red phantoms and then like 8 just red phantoms.
Nice.
So I'll see how those play out.
Yeah. So here's a good example of snowflaking. You see kind of the drippiness popping out. Everything just popping. A lot of blooming white stuff on white pattern.
Yeah, and I will say snowflake genes. So the actual like color of the white, the actual color of that is not the whitest white you can get in a crested gecko.
Right.
The paper white that is in some tricolors is more white than this.
Yes. Yeah. You think
they're very beautiful, and they're kind of deceiving because they're so like unicolor sometimes. But it is not the white, like snowflake and white spot is not the whitest color you can get in a crested gecko, but it's super cool. Like I think it helps everything.
It's the hard white that gets very white.
Yeah.
Hard pattern.
The hard pattern.
Yeah, that top
white,
pattern.
Yeah. The tricolor stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Thanks. Couple more questions. Does keeping a pair longer together create better offspring in the long term if you keep pairing them together? I saw probabilities all the same, right?
Yeah.
Favorite solution cleaning liquid to deep clean enclosures that are 100% safe. We talked about this a few times, but
vinegar and water is what I use.
I just use water. Yeah.
You can also use, if you wanted to do I don't know, is anything 100% safe? I couldn't say F10's 100% safe or chlorhexidine or a mild bleach solution or any, I'm not a scientist. I don't know what's 100% safe. I just do a vinegar solution, vinegar and water solution.
I still use the chlorhexidine, even though you said it doesn't really work, but I still have it.
It does work. It just doesn't. Once people understand the science of it, it's a little less effective.
I still use it because I have a lot of it. So
nobody in the reptile industry knows about that. I only know because it was my job to know all about it.
That's pretty funny.
I talked about
it's just a mental thing. Yeah,
chlorhexidine and gluconate all the time. So it's so funny. I still get to talk about it now.
Just to answer this one, yes. White spot and snowflaking, I feel like are the same thing.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Different name, same thing.
Different name, same thing. We tend to use. I feel like white spots is more common.
Yeah. We use white spot.
Yeah, I don't really use the term snowflake.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, Mario's saying he uses it as an OR scrub. You probably use the product that I used to sell. So the Striker and Sage chlorhexidine cloths.
Nicole uses chlorhexidine too. Yeah. Best gecko hatching medium. Ask Alex. All the same? Is there a different reason for
Alex? Ask Alex? What?
This is Alex. Geckin geckos.
I use Pangea hatch.
Yeah, me too.
I do too.
I mean, I have no issues with it. I saw somebody asked if Murderous Morphs asked if we reuse it. I don't reuse it. I
dump it and buy new. It's so cheap.
It's so cheap.
Like, why boil it and reuse it? It's more work. It costs it's like $7 for 10 pounds.
Yeah.
I've reused it, but I'm cheap.
Shame on Harry.
Shame.
Max and Chelsea, let's reuse it.
It says you can. If you boil, you can boil it and reuse it.
You can. I just don't want to.
You don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah. Who wants
to? I just wash them out and then I'll reuse it.
Oh, you don't even boil it.
Hot water, but I don't boil it. Yeah. A few more. What vitamins, supplements do you guys like to use?
Mineral.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Mineral.
I use
Sticky Tongue Farms.
I have no idea who we are.
I also use Bug Delight. I add liquid calcium,
Mm.
especially now, right now.
I like Herptivite too.
Oh, I used to use that a long time ago.
I use the vitamin. I don't use
Repcal and
Herptivite.
Herptivite.
Yeah. I use the Herptivite. I don't use the Repcal anymore. So
You
I
know,
use
back
Mineral. I use Mineral. I should just use the Vidal from Sticky Tongue, but I
Yeah.
haven't bought it.
Back in the late 90s, that was the only calcium product you could buy.
Yeah, Repcal and Herptivite.
Yep. And
yeah,
I think they're still a really good company.
Yeah, totally. Who actually makes that?
I don't remember. I just know it was the pink and blue
Yeah,
label.
the little jars.
Yep.
Repcal is the company.
Repcal. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
A few more. You guys want to do a few more? Pixel Gene thoughts. So this one falls in line with also this one. Thoughts on new genes and or combos, Pixel, Chocho, etc., etc. Thoughts on the morphs from you guys? Do you guys have all these things?
No, I don't have any of it.
You have Exantic. That's it, right?
Oh,
it's Cat.
I just saw
Exantic. Yeah, Fraps.
Oh, I thought it just said Pixel and Chochos. Yeah, I have Exantics. I have Caps, Fraps. No Sable.
Yeah, we have Pixel. Adrian have some Pixels. Pixel, Sables. I don't have Sable yet, but AJ has a Sable. We'll grab some from you eventually.
Yeah,
One
so
day.
Sable. Yeah, I think the combos are sweet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like them.
Mario knows what's up.
Mario, we don't know what a Chocho is either.
Chocho's some weird red animal.
They're
That's
cool.
Ruby.
They're cool.
I don't even see it as red, man. It looks brown to me.
Yeah, they're not that cool. They look like maroon to me, but it's not like that interesting.
You guys are also colorblind, so
yeah, they're colorblind.
And now that I've seen a Chocho Lily White, I was kind of underwhelmed. When I saw one of those, I was like, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
It's not that cool. I don't know.
I'd rather
being
Frap.
sold for 89K
look better. Sable lilies look better.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but it's just cool because it's new. I mean, I'm always down for
89K.
more genes, in the recipe book. It's nice to have other things to play with, but I'm not running out to spend crazy money for a Chocho.
Yeah, wait a little bit. They'll be cheaper. They'll be cheap again.
Ralphie boy.
Ralph.
Spectrum in the house.
If you guys were gonna rank, okay, here we go. If you're gonna rank, all the genes that are out there right now, regardless. So say they're all the same price. Say they were all
$100.
Now make it like a semi stretch of an amount, $1,500. Okay. Pick an amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chocho, Pixel, Hypo. What else?
Sable, Cap,
Sable, Cap. But like ones that you don't have. Which one are you buying first, regardless of price?
Sable,
yeah.
You'd pick Sable over everything else?
Yeah. Because we don't have Sables. I feel like there's so much. I feel like
pick Sable over Chocho, Sable over the leucistic
honestly,
Mac.
You don't know what Chocho is, to be honest.
I'm still not sold on Chocho. Tell you the truth.
I think it's a thing.
I do think it's a thing.
I don't see it though. Like I don't see it. I don't know what it is. Is it the white? Is it the base color? What? So what is it? Like what's the whole thing? Is it like what they're saying is Chocho right now? Is that their higher end Chocho? What does a low end Chocho look like? Like we don't see enough of it to know. So I guess maybe if
here's a Chocho
for $1,500 and everything's the same. Maybe
show the newer picture of it. He put like a reel up.
Maybe I'll do a Chocho just so I could figure it out for myself. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, that one there. Yeah, it's the same animal. It's looking better. Ruby still stole my name though.
What
I
is
still
it?
see a brown
Bloodbath.
gecko.
Oh,
yeah.
Jordan, you stole AJ's bloodbath animal.
It's okay.
It's trademarked.
I'll
Can't
share.
do
I'll
it.
share.
So this is a chocho. We don't, it's something. It's kind of has reddish hues going on.
It's cool, but it's I do think it adds white too. I think chocho
There's a
adds
het
a little bit of
chocho,
white.
so I guess you put them to. It's recessive. We know, according to Jordan.
I don't know what I would do. I would probably, out of all those things I don't have, I'd probably do chocho.
Well,
Like,
you have
I do
everything.
chocho.
You have
You have
everything
everything.
except a chocho.
I don't
have
have hypo.
The genetic hypo.
Who
Yeah,
wants that?
but I'm saying I would choose chocho over that.
So you have a choice of genetic
Trev's on the
hypo,
max
or
is chocho.
chocho.
And I'll
I mean,
say
that's
I don't like have any pixel in my house that I own. So
you
I'll
guys
put
have
pixel in there.
pixel.
I would still have chocho. I don't know. But it's an interesting exercise.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. We have pixels. They're okay. I feel like pixels. I've yet to see, I guess, like amazing stuff off of pixels. There's some cool ones, but I think we'll figure it
it'll
out.
be cool to see how it interacts with other genetics.
Yeah.
Or other stuff.
This is true. Yeah.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens. We have some.
Because it seems like what we're seeing with Pixel is all the same. Like it's just
orange
regular
Harlequins.
Yeah. We'll find out. This season.
See what Pixel goes to, like high white stuff.
Somebody asked us to answer Gecko Cove's question.
What is it? Van is Lee. Lee, you have too many names, bro. Like it's confusing.
Van
Are you
Lee?
I think that's Lee. I don't know what the question is.
His question was, is it gone? I saw it. It was basically, the question was, if you could, 9:43 p.m. is the timestamp.
Okay, 9:43. Well, 6:43 my time. Okay. If you could steal a gecko from the other two host collection, what would it be? Each can answer. That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Thanks, Lee. Good.
A gecko. Oh, I'll steal Ghost from Harry.
Ghost.
You got to steal two from each.
Two?
Oh no, one. Only one.
You steal Ghost. I'll steal Muzan. We'll swap.
And AJ, I will steal.
We'll steal his crazy white.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. AJ has a lot. Do I want something from the Frost line, or do I want? I like that Sable Lily, and I also like that Red Phantom Lily.
I'm trying to look for a picture of Muzan.
I think I would take the Sable Lily, man. That thing is sick.
It is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Sable Lily.
I will steal from Harry. I will steal Panda.
Which one's Panda?
Let me pull him up. Let's see.
I think that's my favorite Harry animal. I like Ghost too, but I like Panda. Panda does it for me.
Panda has some nice white going on here. Oh my gosh.
Panda, I just like his like distribution of pattern. And then I gotta steal Muzan for sure.
Yeah.
You should take Muzan's kids. Muzan's daughter.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get some.
Okay, so this one is Panda King. AJ likes this one a lot.
Yeah, I remember Panda King. Yeah, like that one's nice.
Yeah, I always see that one. I'm like, I like that one.
I like Ghost.
That one is cool. Ghost is
Panda King was from Paradise Cresties, right?
Yeah, that one's from a Mirage kid, and then this one is Ghost.
Ghost is crazy.
I like Frappy too. I'm stealing Frappy.
Yeah, Frappy. I saw Frappy today. Frappy's looking real nice too. I like Frappy.
Frappy's at AJ's house.
Frappy is at my house. Frappy doesn't want to breed yet. He's being a little skittish.
Little pansy.
He's shy. You
and then AJ.
Pep talk.
AJ, we have his. What do we have from AJ? Oh my gosh, good. We have a Sable Lily,
which I don't have an adult picture of it. I need to put one up.
Here's a baby of it. And You have
There it
so
is.
many
So
of these
that's a
like
nice
Felix
picture
Julia
of it.
stuff.
That one there, that last one
Ooh.
on
Which one?
the one on the thumbnail, that one there.
This one?
Yeah.
On the video you watched, the ones on the thumbnail. That
That's
one's
Ava
crazy
Lily.
too. Who's video.
That thing is so
Beehoozies.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
it's the speckling on the head that really got me.
Yeah, I
that
love
thing is
that.
so cool. I
love
love
that.
that. That's like one of
Yeah.
my favorite traits on cresteds. Seeing like speckling on the head.
Who's geckos? Well, how come we don't see your breeders anymore? Are they all hidden?
Oh, I don't know. I don't post them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Muzan, you have to scroll way down. But here's some
Actually,
Muzan babies.
It's nice.
Yeah, we'd steal some darks from Bihu.
Yeah, we gotta go get them.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got, Harry?
Anything else you guys want to chat about? We just
Did we get through all our questions?
I think we did. Let me double check.
Anybody got anything else for us?
Flora fauna?
That's not a question, but we're excited too.
From Sly, but
that'll be amazing.
I'll be
We're all
May.
bending.
It'll come up sooner than we think, so that'll be good.
I know, it's so fast. I think we're like almost 4 months away, right? Less than 5.
Dude, yeah.
It's crazy.
Very fast.
Did you book your flight?
I have not booked my flight yet. Which reminds me I need to go book it. So
we gotta figure out how you're gonna do it. Are you flying in the day of Friday, or you're gonna do the day before, or
want me to come earlier? Come visit you guys? Visit you?
Jeez. You can stay at my house, and it's just sleep on the couch. Actually, you know what? You can sleep in Madison's bed.
No. I'll sleep.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
She's got a twin bed now. She doesn't have a crib mattress anymore.
You can sleep. Awesome. You can sleep on top of the giant fish tank, Harry. Stingray.
I'll sleep in there. I'll just keep my head afloat. I'm one of those like.
Don't let the arowana bite you.
Arowana's gonna bite my nipples off though. So.
It's gonna look like a Vienna sausage.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, Nicole's going excited for Flora Fauna. Awesome.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Last question I had was red blushing on the indicator that an animal is at least het for red.
That has proven correct in my experience so far, but I'm not claiming that that's 100% true. But in my experience so far, it has been true.
Yeah. Yep. First time I did not purchase VIP ticket. Should I splurge and do it this year? Do you need VIP tickets?
I mean, if you live local and you're not gonna be like spending the whole weekend, then no. But if you're gonna be there the whole weekend, I mean, it pays for itself. Just the meals are all paid for. Your drinks are paid for.
So this year VIP tickets is for both Saturday and Sunday. You can't just purchase Sunday anymore. It's just if you purchase non-VIP tickets, you're only going to look at animals on Saturday, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it depends on what your goal is. If you're local and you just want to go see the animals that are for sale, no, you don't have to buy VIP.
Yeah. Yep.
But you miss all the fun stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff, VIP. The ticket should pretty much pay for itself just in like your food and your drink and
let's get VIP. Yeah.
I was talking to Gabby, and she's so Saturday night's gonna be super fun. That's like the 80s party. There's gonna be a DJ.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about our costumes.
Yes. I can't wait. We gotta start doing it now.
Yeah, we gotta start working on it.
We definitely need to like try to steal the show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun party. Like, I guess there'll be like dancing and stuff if people want to dance, but whatever.
Yep. You guys.
Yeah.
AJ is.
I should be. Yes.
AJ's there. Yeah.
I will be there. I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of torn. I don't like vending spring Tinley. I like half want to just like backpack it again and like go rogue. I used to just throw like 30 geckos in a backpack and just like shop
Walk
them
around.
around at people's tables.
Yeah.
Like all the really, really nice stuff. I'm like, man, I kind of miss that. I really, oh man, March
That's
Tinley
fun.
is not my favorite show.
Is this slow? Is that why?
It's not slow. I would say it's like equal in, it feels pretty equal in like through the door. But I just feel like the vibe, like you remember when we went to October Tinley, the one right after COVID, and it was just like all the people were there and like the vibes were like super excited.
Yeah.
And then you go to March and like no one goes,
No one's there.
other than the people that like have to vend.
Yeah.
And just like everybody's kind of like a bummer.
Mm.
I just feel like it's just not like October's the fun one, and March is kind of just like the other one. As far as like from like a social standpoint.
Yeah. Just go to Flora Fauna. That one's fun. That one's just like a retreat. You don't even have to buy geckos. Just go hang out.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a gecko person, that's the place to go, right?
Yeah. Well,
you're gonna have breeders from all over the country vending there.
Yeah, sure. I'm flying from California to vend there, so
Harry will be with the Caimanas.
With Chatty,
right?
Chatty the baddie.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Flora Fauna happening in California. I don't know. No, nothing. No plans. No plans, right? AJ?
We probably wouldn't go all the way to California for the first West Coast. We'd probably go halfway somewhere.
Like Colorado
or Phoenix or something.
Yeah, makes sense. Cali. Cool. You guys have anything else you want to talk about before we close out? It's been pretty much about 2 hours.
Feel free if you guys have any asks as far as who you want to see on the Gecko Pod, send it to us and we'll consider it for sure. We're starting to kind of build out the schedule for the beginning of the year. So if you guys have anybody you want to see, feel free to let us know and we'll
always ask.
We'll take
say no.
Steve Sykes doesn't want to come on.
Steve Sykes.
Don't ask about Steve. He's not coming.
Wait, hold on. Let me DM him right now.
Steve Sykes doesn't care about us.
Steve Sykes doesn't know who we are.
Steve?
He big timed us.
Steve Sykes was like, who the hell are these guys always talking about me? I don't even know these guys.
Big time. You big time me? Oh, no. I'll make you feel uncomfortable.
We love Steve. Cali
yeah.
kid. We're Cali kids, so yeah. But yeah, let us know who you guys want to hear from, talk about. We'll still do like the morph chats with LM, and
we're gonna do some like industry episodes soon too.
Oh yeah, we'll have some stuff coming up already booked. We have some. Yeah,
we won't give it away.
Yeah, won't give everything away, but we'll have some stuff. Yeah, roundtable stuff, etc. So
yeah,
stay tuned, subscribe and like. Anything else, Brian? Any plugs for you?
No drama, huh? There was no drama lately.
Oh yeah.
I feel like there was like 2 weeks ago, but there hasn't been recently.
I don't even remember it. There's so much stuff that I don't.
2 weeks ago,
people always just feuding on Facebook, but
oh yeah.
I mean, I think we're in a good start to 2024, right?
Positive 2024.
Good thing I recommend it to all of you. The toxic people, just cut them out. I just unfollowed and unfriended and I just cut everybody out. If anybody's toxic, see ya.
Yeah. So, this one, yes, Aaron. More new breeders on the block. Absolutely. We will.
Yeah, I think cut out the toxic people, man. It's just not even worth it.
If we're toxic, cut us out too. Cut us out of
cut us out if we're toxic. Don't listen.
Cut out the Gecko Pod.
I'm toxic.
Yeah, Brian's pretty toxic.
Brian.
Toxic.
Oh man. Yeah, but no, it was good. Ricky says he's been quiet.
Yeah, Ricky, why aren't you causing more drama?
Yeah, bro.
We need things to talk about.
Ricky, we need to open our Facebook every day and be excited for what drama is going on.
Yeah. keep our day going, bro.
That's funny.
Bro, I
Flexi
didn't even
does
see.
what's
I didn't even get to see Ricky at White Plains this last show. I don't even know if he was there.
up. Oh, that's funny. Oh, what's this light question? What's the light question? Oh, sorry, I don't know if we have. What's the
My
light
light
question? Want to do this quick one? UVB, something about UVB and full spectrum. Are you guys familiar? I know you guys are. None of
I
us
don't know
use
what
UVB.
I don't know what the question was.
I use UVB. What are you talking
Not
about?
Not on Crested.
Oh, then never mind.
Sorry, we can't.
Oh,
we can't
Oh,
really
you don't
understand
have UVB on all your shoe boxes, Brian?
And that was
Ask
that's a
ask your
question for Ricky
ask your
Swan.
favorite UVB loving breeder how they give UVB to all their hatchlings in their shoe boxes, and see what they tell you.
Who uses UVB?
They syringe feed UVB.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's Jacob. Sorry, Jacob. We don't. None of us use UVB on our.
How did
animals,
that
so-
non-boba mutant happen?
How did
I don't
that-
know.
that
Ask the
Korean.
Korean.
Ask Koreans.
Ask Koreans. Yeah. We don't
Ask
know.
them. We don't know.
They blocked me, so I don't know.
Brian asked questions and they blocked him. So
I'm pretty sure it's through multiple generations of inbreeding.
it's could be possible.
Or it
Nicole
could just
says,
be
Brian, you're not toxic. You're opinionated.
Oh,
Or as I
thank
call
could
it,
just be a very bad genetic mutation that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
that could be a one-off, right? Unless they
yeah,
reproduce
it could-
those things.
I mean, it's not a one-off because I've seen things like
Okay.
that pop out of Lily multiple times. It is something that can pop out of Lily, but it's just I don't think it's something that should be worked on and
Yeah.
developed personally. So,
Yeah, doesn't look great.
Yeah,
but
looks funky.
awesome.
Cauliflower crust. That's what it looks like.
the
Yeah.
cauliflower line.
The California cauliflower crust.
Cali line.
Oh, you know what? We can give a shout, rest in peace to Brian Barczyk.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, sad week. man.
legacy.
Barczyk.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Yeah. It was sad to see. He was
He
going
was
through it for a long
He was
time.
a good
so.
guy. He's been around forever. It was an inspiration, definitely, for me.
To a lot of people.
Watching all his videos and stuff when I was a kid. So.
Yeah. No, it's just
It's-
sharing kind of when he passed, sharing it to each other and just saying, man, like life is short. So it's enjoy the
Don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But prayers up for Brian and his family. So
Yeah, sending prayers, man.
awesome. You guys good?
On that note, I think we're done.
We hit our 2-hour mark. We had a good
Sounds
time. We'll see you guys on the next one. I think we have one next week. We'll have an episode next week, some more chat one, and we'll see you guys there.
Exciting.
Be good.
See you guys.
Awesome. All right, Brian and AJ.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
and thank you guys out there. We love you all. Take care. Have a good night.
Thanks for
We'll see
joining
you
us.
guys
Take
on
care.
Instagram.
Thank
See
you.
guys. Bye.
Bye.